Why do you think people are poor?
I think that it has a lot to do with the way our government is set up and the way society reacts to poor people. And we're really unwilling to help those at the bottom, and the ones at the top are really kind of greedy and don't want to help people climb. And it's just a never-ending
Why do
cycle.
you think people are poor?
Because of the growing gap in wages.
Why do you think people are poor?
I think that people are poor because of a lot of different reasons, but one of them is institutional poverty in this country, and it's really, really hard to get out of it. We have this idea in America of like you pull yourself up by the bootstraps and you can get out of any situation, but it's really not true, and there are a lot of factors that go into that, especially like where you're born, who you're born in, like which kind of family you're born into, your race, your gender, and there's a lot of factors that go into it, but it's a lot of institutional issues that need to be fixed in order to solve the issue of poverty in this
I
country.
think people are poor.
I think because people like think they have more money than they do, and they spend it like too much on like things they want. Yeah, that was.
People are poor.
Because they're getting held down by the machine, man.
People are poor.
I believe it's subjective. I believe it is due to laziness for some people's cases. I do believe it's the situation that others are put in. I do believe that for some people it's the background they're put in and the difficulties they've faced have led them to an awful situation where they can't get out of it. For others, they've put themselves in this situation.
Why do you think people are poor?
I think people are poor because they're born into a cycle that they cannot break. Well, sometimes they can break it, but not all the time.
Why do you think people are poor?
I think there's still a lot of inequality in the world. I think instead of like making a lot of like economical problems, instead of like solving them so that there's like more people within the middle class, or so there's like more people in America, more people. It's just like the inequality is just spreading instead of like going towards like I think there's not enough people to go towards.
Why do you think people are poor?
Usually I think like they're born into poverty and like the cycle is really hard to get out of.
Poor socioeconomic positions.
Why do you think people are poor?
I think people are poor in this world because of unfair advantages, white privilege, a bunch of variables that some people are just unlucky. It's just, shit happens.
People are poor.
Well, I think that you can't have one sweeping statement regarding the situation of every single person. I know a lot of people that I know that are poor because I live in a relatively rich town on Long Island, which is a very segregated, my neighborhood place in the country. A lot of my friends that are poor I've met at college live in very different places in the country, and most of those people, their parents are immigrants. And so they, whatever training they had in their fields, and they live in other countries, whether it be Iran or Honduras or El Salvador or all different places, when they came to America, their credentials didn't really mean anything, and they had to restart, and they've been working incredibly hard. It's been incredibly difficult for them. So I know some people that are actually children of illegal immigrants, causes that too, but like, they work so hard, and yet they are not recognized for their competence here in our country. And then at the same time, we have other people that have been here a lot longer, that are also poor. And whenever I think of those people, it's usually just like, they're usually not white. I'm pretty much getting at, and it's systematic.
Why do you think people are poor?
I think people are poor because of history. I think people are part of a certain social class, and they never really get out of that social class. It rarely ever happens. I think as much as we want to believe in the American dream, it's incredibly difficult to really get out of the class that you're in. So I think that it really just all has to do with the origin of your family.
Why do you think people are poor?
I think we live in a country where people that are poor are just completely cut off from resources to escape poverty. It's an endless cycle, and so I think it's just unfortunate circumstances and lack of effort on the government's part to get them out of poverty.
Why do you think people are poor?
Maybe they have poor circumstances. Maybe they just didn't work hard enough. Harder. I think some people are poor because they don't see the various job opportunities out in front of them. But other people are just hit with unfortunate circumstances and problems in their life that are just a little too severe to fix, but there's still no reason that you can't go out there and get a job and fix it.
Why do you think people are poor?
Alright, well I think when people hear poor, they think of two different types of poor. The poor that was born poor, and the poor that fell into it. And I think there are a couple different reasons for each one, but like you can inherit poverty the same way that you can inherit wealth. And in that way, like you get kept down by a lack of education because maybe your parents or their parents, like they grew up in an impoverished area, and like it's hard to step out of that because you need to be, important because you need to know what you don't know, and there's no way to breach that level of knowledge without the education involved with a tight society. And that's the problem. Like society does have a lot of unfortunate boundaries for impoverished people. Like, and that's why it's a self-generating system of poverty where poor people can't breach into wealth without incredible amounts of hard work. Because of the societal boundaries that exist.
Why do you think people are poor?
People are poor because they are born into poverty.
Why do you think people are poor?
I think people fall below the poverty line due to like limited access to like resources that other people have. I do think that there is like a class stratification like in our society, which sucks, but I think that has perpetuated the system that is in place.
Why do you think people are poor?
There's no money out there for anyone.
Why do you think people are poor?
I think it's a variety of different issues. I think that some areas of the world just like don't have the same wealth, or at least have had their wealth been taken over by other companies or other organizations. So it's like if you don't have a certain amount of like natural resources, or you don't have like enough education inherent in your region, then the people inside the region are gonna start to become impoverished.